Hey hotties, guess what? I graduated college. I know I still look like I'm 12 years old, but it happened. And I got my bachelor's in marketing with an emphasis in integrated marketing communications at San Diego State University. Look, I have my diploma, except not really, it's empty. They still have to mail it in, but I have the cover. Yay, this is the last time I could actually capitalize off of making college content, so I wanted to do like a what I wish I knew before college video. I know it's like a really tough and like kind of scary experience, so I thought I would share some tips with you. And I know I've been like away from YouTube for a while, but again, you know, I just graduated college, so I kind of just wanted to like live out my last month, and also I just got sick. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is choosing the right school. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with going to community college. I feel like there's like this whole thing that if you don't go to a four-year university, you're a piece of shit and you don't deserve an education. Like, I feel like that just doesn't make sense at all. Honestly, I would have gone to a community college if I didn't get so much financial aid for the university that I went to. And I don't know, like, I just think it's a lot better like financially, and also if you don't know what you want to do for your major, I think kind of immersing yourself into like a college environment will kind of help you, you know, pick apart everything that you like, what you don't like, and it's just like a lot easier, just like smarter, I think, sometimes for a lot of people. Please do not go to a college because it has like the coolest reputation. You want to say, oh, I went to USC, blah blah blah. Like, I understand the whole, you know, you can get like a better job, or sometimes like it's easier to get those things when you go to like a very prestigious school like that. And I think there's a difference with going to a school because you want to, or just doing it because of the clout. I know that a lot of people are, you know, like 5th gen and they want to go to like the college that their parents went to, and I think that's like pretty valid. But you know, like, I think it's just like kind of staying true to yourself. If you know that you don't actually want to go but you feel pressured to, I think that really reflects on the way that you learn, and how you kind of view your like your college experience. I'm actually 1st gen, so I didn't really have like a legacy to uphold, but you know, yeah, like, I think that's just something to think about. Not gonna lie, I did really want to go to like a UC, like UCLA, all that stuff, but first of all, I knew that I probably wouldn't have liked it that much because I'm not an LA person, but I just wanted to have that kind of like, oh, I went to UCLA. And also didn't get accepted into the school. So even if I did want to go, that couldn't have happened. Please do not just pick a school because your high school friends or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or partner are going there, because, you know, I feel like high school is such a small little bubble of people that you've been surrounded with, and I think college is such a great experience and like avenue to find people that you probably wouldn't have ever met if you didn't go to that college or, you know, branched out. So please just don't do that. Like, I don't know if I ever talked about this, but literally my freshman year, I was in a long distance relationship with my ex, and he went to Cal Poly SLO. And tell me why my ass was about to drop out of SDSU to go to that school for him. Please. Like, when I think about it, I'm just like, what was I even thinking? Cal Poly SLO like was not like a place for me. Like, I just knew I wouldn't be happy there, but I was just so like confused with my life, and I just felt so alone that I thought that that was like the only way for me to feel happy. But I am so happy that I like just stuck it out here, because I love this school. I love all the people that I have met and all the relationships, you know, like that I've encountered and everything like that. I think it's such a great learning experience. So I feel like just, you know, branching outside of your comfort zone is obviously so hard, but I think that's the whole reason of going to a college. You know, like, you're trying to meet new people, you're trying to experience new things, and I think staying in your little bubble obviously will feel more comfortable, but I don't think will benefit you in the long run with your, you know, self just growth. Tour your schools, okay? And do as I say, not as I do, because I actually like admitted to this college and then I took a tour and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is where I'm going. Like, I already said yes. But you know, I really like this campus anyways, but I guess I got lucky there. You know, I think just like, you know, seeing photos and like vlogs and all that stuff, like people really romanticize the whole like experience, and I feel like you actually have to like be there to know, you know, like the vibes, you know, like you can already tell like in your heart if this is the place for you or not. There's this one school that I was kind of thinking of going to, and I toured it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take this off the roster because this is not the vibe for me. I know everyone and their mother says this, but actually, I don't know if all moms say this, but I think it is so okay to keep changing. I don't know why colleges think that we know what we want to do for the rest of our lives when we're fucking like 17, 18 years old. We do not know anything when we're that young. And it's just like it's a really scary experience. Like you just like see the drop down menu and you're like, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Tell me why I wanted to be a speech pathologist, an orthodontist, and I'm now sitting here in my room making YouTube videos. You know, like you never know how your life is gonna end up. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Maybe just try to find like the kind of field that you want to be in. Like you're like, yeah, I want to be business. I don't know if I want to be accounting or marketing or all of that. Maybe just stay in that kind of field would help. But I know so many people that were in like marketing and then they went into graphic design, or they went from STEM all the way to dance. I think the first 2 years are like the optimal time to, you know, switch around, feel things, you know, like you can just enroll into classes. You could even just like hop into classes, not even be enrolled, and just see if you like it. I know so many people that have changed their majors multiple times, even in their 3rd or 4th year, and they're so happy now. I feel like college is the time to be selfish because this is your experience, this is your future. I hear a lot of people say like, oh, I've already been doing it for 4 years, I'm just gonna stick it out even though I know I don't really want to do this for my career, like I don't really see myself being happy. Like, okay, let's just say this. You do all 4 years in a major that you don't like, and you just kind of stuck it out because, you know, that's what you felt like you should be doing. Then for the rest of your life, are you just going to be unhappy? I know that it's so hard. I know financially, everything like that. I know like even family dynamics. I know some families like won't even pay for your college if you don't do the major that they want. So I know this is a very like privileged stance that I'm taking. And you can still make like a lot of money in like tech fields, all of that stuff, without actually being in tech. You can be like a graphic designer for a tech company and still like have that like STEM clout, I guess, but not actually doing things that you hate, kind of like finesse the system and like get a career that you actually enjoy in a field that you probably didn't want to actually study in. But I don't know, does this make sense? Making friends, this is such a huge thing with college, and I actually met one of my best friends and roommates for like 3 years. Like we literally lived together for 3 years. We met on Facebook. I kind of touched on this before, but please don't try to just stick with your high school friends. Obviously, they're your friends for a reason from high school, you know, like you vibe with them, everything's good, but college is such a big place. And I think that you can only benefit yourself by like branching out to other people and making new relationships, because like how else would you have met them, you know? Like I feel like high school, like you're with those people for so long and you kind of grew up in the same area, and I feel like broadening your horizons with new ideas, new cultures, everything like that is so valuable that I don't think that you should skip out on that by just staying in your really like small like comfort bubble. For the commuters, please join clubs. I know so many people that have made literally like the best of friends by joining clubs, because it is really hard to make friends when you're just like in classes and stuff, because sometimes people just don't want to talk. They're just kind of there to put assignments in, you know? For me, like I made a lot of my friends with my dorms, but especially, you know, of course, if like you're a commuter, you don't have that kind of like luxury. So, you know, being in clubs will just really, really help you like just meet people. And I think people are just very open to making new friends, especially because I mean, you join a club for a reason, you know? Like I think everyone's just there to make friends. A huge tip I have is to leave your room. For me, I was actually cooped up into my freshman dorm literally all year because I was so scared of venturing out into the world. I was just so nervous about it. I was too comfortable with FaceTiming my ex. I was too comfortable with only talking to my high school friends or just my roommates or just all of that stuff. And it was just, I really, really regret that. I think that's probably my biggest college regret. In retrospect, I think I know now that if I just branched out, it wouldn't have been as scary as I played it out in my head, because everyone is so down to make friends, especially like freshman year, all that stuff, because no one has friends. Honestly, I know that staying in your room is definitely the most comfortable way to go about it. You're probably gonna go through a lot of homesickness. I know that was really, really tough, and I hope you know that you're not alone. I think a lot of people are going through that even if they don't show it. And honestly, unfortunately, I think that's like kind of like the part of growing up. I think you're kind of like thrown into this like huge ocean of like there's so much going on, and I know how hard it is. But say with me, everyone, GPA doesn't matter unless you're in STEM or you want to go to like a master's program or something like that. I just feel like in high school, your GPA was such a big deal, right? Like you're taking all these AP classes, all of that stuff. But at this point, like you're in college, right? So it doesn't matter too much. Honestly, what I did and what I really, really recommend is to do really well in your first 2 years where you're taking like the stupid ass general ed classes, because then when you're taking like your actual major courses, your GPA doesn't take like that much of a hit when it actually like starts getting hard and you're starting to get a lot more lazy. For me, I took a lot of summer classes and winter courses from community colleges. First of all, it's really, really great financially. It is so much more affordable than taking it through university. So if you have the option to do that and just transfer your units, I really, really, really recommend it. And usually it's a lot easier because it's online most of the time. I took online classes, and because it's like such like a condensed version of the course, usually the professors don't really care that much because it's during summertime and they kind of want to get on with their lives, and you kind of don't have to like do like all the curriculum. Like you don't have to do like the group projects, all that stuff. You kind of just like take random quizzes and you know, finesse your way through it. And because I say, you know, GPA doesn't matter, doesn't mean that you shouldn't try hard, of course, right? You know, do your best, all of that, but, you know, don't try to strain yourself too hard to try to get that 4.0. It's not that worth it. Please do internships if your field really, really values that. I think when I say like GPA doesn't matter, it's because they value experience over grades. On your resume, you know, like if you just have a 4.0 but you didn't do anything else, I feel like it doesn't really show the recruiter that you were like particularly like well-rounded. So you have a lot of hands-on experience that is way more beneficial for them to hire you than to have someone that crammed in their dorm all day like studying. Rate My Professor will be your best friend, okay? Professors are such a huge part of your education and your learning experience, right? Like duh. Professors can make it a great class, you know, if they're very collaborative and not so like high on their pedestal, like thinking that they're like the shit and everything, because you will encounter those and it's just very annoying. But if they make it such like a teamwork experience, then you will be more inclined to talk more in class and make friends and make those connections and try to like not think of so much like the curriculum of the course that you're taking, but more like life skills and all of that. Talking in that class and making a relationship with that professor is so important because they can really help you, you know, brush up your resume, even write your resume, cover letters, letters of recommendations, even help you land a job. I have this one professor that literally, there was like a class of us, like there's only like 30 of us, and I think like 15 of them got like jobs from him. So I just think, you know, putting yourself out there is very, very important because you only have like that one semester, that one quarter to really like make your mark and make that impression, and, you know, add them on LinkedIn, all of that. I think it's just really like important, and to something that is really, really hard to find somewhere else, you know, especially if you're first gen, like, you know, like if you don't have those kind of connections from your families, your family's friends, all that stuff, like you can do that yourself. Okay, so now for a fun part of the video, partying and drinking, because I know a lot of us will not be doing that until we're of age, right? Like totally.
Party, party, yeah.
Okay, but on a real note, I think partying is a huge thing of college, and I think it's really, really important to stay safe and be aware of your surroundings, because unfortunately we live in a very awful world sometimes, and people do really horrible things, and a lot of people just turn a blind eye and they don't really say anything. Standing up for yourself and standing up for others is really, really, really important. I feel like during your freshman year and your sophomore year, you're probably going to be going to more like frat parties, and I think in movies and stuff they made it seem like super glamorous, like college experience, and I did have like a lot of good times at frat parties, but you know, like there were some bad apples in there, I suppose. There's just like a lot of frats that like view women as like commodities. The guys will like literally look at you and see if you're good enough to be in there, or to be like some like racist fucks that like won't let like minorities in, and it's just like icky. I kind of just like stopped going to frat parties. I don't even know if I can put this in a YouTube video, but I'm gonna teach y'all how to take a shot. So I'll be back. Honestly, I remember in high school, like I kind of, you know, did things that I'm not very proud of because I wanted to like not look like lame in college, especially since I went to San Diego State and drinking and partying is like a whole thing here. So I don't know. I'm not calling myself a big sister y'all for nothing. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the thing. Before we get into it, I wanted to give you some tips on, you know, try to stay safe and, you know, just how to be smart about this. Make sure you eat, but don't be too full because you will throw that shit up and it will be awful. Don't go ham all at once. I know when we're pre-gaming and stuff, you only have like 30 minutes. Let me just take 12 shots because I want to be drunk the whole night. No, you do not want to be the person that your friends have to babysit because it is not a good time for anyone involved. Okay, so I'm gonna do this with water. I usually go around there. I can't believe I'm doing this in a video. Is this bad? I learned this on TikTok, okay? So you breathe out, take a shot, breathe out again, okay? Don't try to smell anything. It just makes it worse. So, okay. I cannot tell you how many people that I've like taken like their first sip of alcohol like with, and I was just like with them like trying to like guide them through it, so I thought I would do the same for you guys. Oh, please don't flag this video. I'm just actually just trying to be educational. When you're taking shots, okay, a good rule of thumb before you go to sleep, I know that it really sucks to like take care of yourself when you're a little tipsy and you just got home, you just want to rest. No, please at least drink like a full bottle of water. A good rule of thumb is to drink half a bottle of water for each shot you take, but I know that's kind of a lot of water sometimes, but please drink water because you do not want to be hungover the next day. It is not worth it. It is such an awful experience, okay? Knowing your limits is such a huge thing, and I think maybe experimenting with stuff like this with people that you really, really trust in an environment that you feel safe in is really important. I know that this is like a pretty touchy subject and I'm kind of just like doing this as a skit, but of course be safe and listen to your body. And you know, if you have like some horrible like experiences, don't feel pressured to do this sort of thing. It doesn't make you cool, and if people are being mean to you or peer pressuring you to do something like this, like I think that that is a red flag and that you should let them go because they obviously do not give a shit about you and you deserve to be surrounded by people that love you. Okay, so this video is getting super long, so I'm gonna go speed through these with some quick tips. The first one is to do not buy your textbooks. It is not worth it. find it online, rent it, do whatever. If you don't actually need the textbook to do quizzes, all of that stuff, do not buy it. Use Notion or a planner or some sort of spreadsheet to put in all your assignments in, like into like a master document with all the due dates, and just have that so it's just easier to see like all in one place. I talked about something that I did before is I would put the due dates like 2 or 3 days before like the actual due date, so it gave me a lot more time and it like kind of seemed less rushed. And so like, oh my god, I totally forgot about this assignment. And if you did, then you have like that 2 to 3 days that you kind of like gave yourself as leeway to actually complete the assignment. I am so excited to upload this video, and I'm so excited to be back on YouTube and excited for life, I suppose. I'm really scared, but thank you so much for sticking around and supporting me. I hope that you have a really good experience, because for me, I really loved my whole 4 years here, and you deserve to be happy in a place that you'll be educated in and make relationships and friends and all that stuff. So yeah, I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
2, 3, 4. C'est l'histoire d'une fille pas trop compliquée pour une fois, non. Cherchant l'impossible, elle trouva que c'était une bonne idée d'avancer.